Why is that a 4-1? What's going on here? That's interesting. Hey guys, what's going on? So as you guys know, Udyr has arrived. He's one of the new champions in the new set, and if you guys watched my video yesterday about all the different decks you can play using the new champions, you might actually recognize this deck from that video. This is the Udyr Shurima deck that I showed off, that I built around with Kuvira actually all day on stream on the first day that the expansion launched. Now, I can tell you a few things about this deck right off the bat. This is probably the best Udyr deck that is not, I'm not going to say it's the best Udyr deck that's able to be built, because honestly, there's a lot of different ways to change this concept. I do think this is the best concept to run Udyr in to get the most out of his ability. B, Udyr is not a very strong champion. Disclaimer, if you're looking for a powerful net deck that's going to be winning you games on ranked, you know, I'll put the link to the video I mentioned in the description, because there's a bunch of other good decks in that video, and I definitely recommend one of those. But if you're looking to play Udyr, or you like this kind of playstyle, this deck's certainly not bad. It's probably the best way to use him, and it plays a very unique kind of game that we haven't really seen before in other archetypes. Anyway, if you want to try out the deck, the pinned comment is going to have the link to the Mobalytics where you can upload, import the deck. It's, you know what to do. That's where you get the deck, and it'll be an updated version. So, I mean, you guys know the drill. I've done this 1,000 times before. Anyway, before we actually get into the games, and we are going to get into some games where I'm going to show off how you play this deck, and please watch the games. Like, okay, I'm going to be honest. A lot of times, like, you know, you guys take the decks, and I can tell that you didn't watch how to play the decks. And honestly, in a lot of cases, that's okay. But like legitimately, with this deck, if you don't understand how it's played, it is going to crash and burn. This deck needs to be played very well to be able to, you know, get the maximum amount of wins you're going to be able to get out of it. That being said, before I get into the games, I actually want to break down the deck build, because this is a very, very important kind of concept that I think will help make you guys better deck builders. And I want you guys to learn how to take, you know, your deck building to the next level. Deck building is a really, really, really complex art, and I want to share that with you guys. So why am I so confident that this is the best concept to play Udyr? Well, that's largely because of Udyr and how he works and what he offers you as a champion. So we can start by breaking this down. Udyr is a 5-mana 4/4. Every time it strikes or on the summon, it creates the stance swap, which is of course this flexible 3-mana thing that can give 2/2, 2/0, and overwhelm 0/2 in regen, or deal 1 to everything except for the targeted unit, right? And of course, if you've already got one, it reduces the cost to 0. His level up is you've damaged the enemy next to 7 times this game, and once he's leveled, you gain +1/+1 for each stance you've cast this game. So a couple things about Udyr. First of all, his level up is completely useless. It's very, very difficult to do, and even when you level it up, it basically doesn't do anything at all. If you want to build around a deck that's trying to level up Udyr, you're not going to be able to gain value out of the stance swaps. The main thing Udyr offers you as a card is the fact that all you have to do is keep him alive and keep him striking, and he will effectively generate infinite value. You'll never run out of resources, right? That's kind of the premise behind Udyr. So the best way to build a deck around that premise is actually using some of Freljord's support cards. Basically, the concept with this deck is really, really straightforward. This is an outgrind attrition style mid-range deck. It's sort of like a very kind of like old school slow Demacia decks, right? Where we have a lot of combat tricks, and we're using cards like Elixir of Iron and Troll Chant, as well as cards that gain value every time they strike or live through a combat, right? And that's the kind of the idea of these cards. Like Troll Chant and Elixir of Iron are cards that are completely balanced around you know, when you use too many of these cards, you run out of resources, right? They're cheap combat tricks. Troll Chant is an extremely powerful card, but if you just keep playing this over and over again, there's only so much value it's going to give you. So you combine that with the other half of the deck, and those are cards that give you value every time they strike. Now, of course, for that, we've got not just Udyr, but also 3 copies of Vikwaran Bruiser. Now, this card is arguably better than Udyr. Depends on the matchup. There's a lot of cases where like the fact that it just comes down with +1/+1 is good. But Udyr offers something unique that Vicar and Bruiser doesn't, which is that it gives you good scalability into the really slow games because you're getting more sheer value out of the stances than the Bruiser. And besides, with a concept like this, where we are so all in on keeping specific units alive, we're gonna need a lot more than 3 of this kind of card, right? Because half of our deck is built around keeping these units alive and keeping them striking, and half of the deck is built around having units that are worth keeping alive. And that's where we get into Akshan. Akshan is effectively the core of this deck, right? The one thing that this deck does better than no other is it will turbo flip Warlord's Palace like crazy. And that's why we're not just running 3 Akshan, we're running 3 Vaquarn Vagabond as well. This deck is all about just kind of like targeting your own units, keeping them striking. You can like target your own Akshan, keep him striking, and basically you will eventually outgrind and outvalue. Your opponent will run out of resources, and this deck has a lot of ways of stopping any opponent's game plans that are going to, you know, go through your attrition game plan, right? Like elusives get stopped by quicksand. A lot of like degenerate combo strategies get stopped by quicksand, and this is another card that of course does very well in terms of allowing your units to strike and keep striking. You're beating barrier, so it kind of like meshes with the deck perfectly. Effectively, it's important to see that this deck is kind of the coming together of 2 or 3 parts, right? And this is a very unique intersection of Shurima Freljord, which we haven't really seen competitive before in exactly this way. I mean, there's like Talia Thralls and a couple of like Overwhelm concepts in the past. Now, this deck is not competitive as is, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like this see play in a tournament. The reason being that a slow, grindy attrition style deck with unique champions is actually the kind of thing you're looking for in a tournament. I expect this to do fairly poorly on ranked ladder because this is the kind of deck that for the most part is going to be weak to aggression. If you are against an aggro deck, this deck is just going to be inherently unfavored. Any sort of pressure deck, you know, like fast Demacia style like scouts, or like a Bandle Swarm that's not trying to like slow down the game with Bandle Trio, just like Bandle Swarm or Yordle's Arms, or any like Noxus aggro deck, are going to run circles around this deck. However, this deck will do really well into any slower game plan that's trying to shut you down or outvalue you. This deck will never get shut down, and it'll never get outvalued if you play your cards right. And of course, on top of all that, we have kind of the best concept for this deck, Grappling Hook, right? Not only is everything else I described kind of like the most important aspects of how this deck comes together, but it's also kind of like the perfect grappling hook deck. Again, keep in mind the concept of this deck is we're always just targeting our own units with things, so we're enabling grappling hook really easily. You know, you're targeting your own things with even like Udyr stances, or the paydays that you're getting from Vaquarn Bruiser are targeting your own units, right? So you're always going to have ways of enabling grappling hook. Grappling hook is constantly being enabled, and also your units benefit from striking. So basically any of your units, Udyr, Bruiser, Akshan, even the one of copy of Gnar, are going to do a really good job of getting value out of the grappling hook, in addition to it being very easily enabled. So overall, that it comes together pretty nicely. And yeah, hopefully you will be able to see from these games how it ends up playing out. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of like talk about the core concept that's being shown here and why we're not running certain cards, right? We're not really trying to do a lot of early pressure. For example, a card that I was running in an earlier version of this deck was Tusk Speaker, but I ended up cutting it just because the idea of Overwhelm doesn't really make sense for this deck, right? We don't really gain much out of trying to pressure the opponent because we can't really follow up that pressure. We're just trying to slow play. So if you like this kind of like slow attrition-y, almost like, it's not like control, but it's pure mid-range, it's just outgrind board exchange value, then you will actually probably enjoy this deck. If you're looking for a deck that feels like it uses Udyr well, then you will probably enjoy this deck. It's definitely a deck that can outskill your opponents very well. It's very skill intensive deck, and it tests your fundamentals of the game extremely well. But that's it for the explanation of the deck build, and I hope you guys enjoy the games. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This may be the best Udyr build, but is it competitive at all? It's not bad. It comes down to the meta. Like, any non-aggro deck we do very well into. The biggest question is just, can I make this better against aggro Swarm? Like, if I can deal with that one matchup, then this deck can actually be legitimately fine. That's it. It's just, can I deal with that one matchup? I'm actually kind of a big fan of having all three of these in this matchup. We're attacking on odds, Merciless Hunter into Sejuani. We're attacking, oh sorry, evens. We're attacking on 4. I think I'll take Hunter over Vagabond to try to find a 1-drop. A Treasure Seeker would be like insane here because they're attacking on 1. A little unfortunate. They don't have a turn 1 play anyway. We're good. Alright, we're happy with this. If Plunder deck doesn't have like a turn 1 play to match our lack of a turn 1 play, then they're kind of like pretty far behind. Man, that's so good. House of Speaker is fucking crazy. The fact that he just gets to like Plunder before felt so bad when they skipped their turn 1, but like look at this. Like now he gets a guaranteed Plunder on 2 when he doesn't have the attack token, and a guaranteed Plunder on 3. That's bonkers.
Oh, I've never met anyone like you.
All right, so I mean, I can avoid letting him deal too much damage if I go for like Vagabond instead of Wanderer, or Vagabond can like block the Mariah and stay alive. I don't really need the extra mana, right? Yeah, I think it's always just Vagabond here. I think I'm pretty happy trading away the Akshan.
Cool eye patch.
You like it? I mean, shut up and fight.
Just jam 3 mana, deal 1 to all and people chill. Ram stance.
Do it.
Ram stance is a pretty awkward card. I think I want to keep my health high enough against Overwhelm. Akshan staying alive is kind of nice because you do need pressure against like Gangplank and Sejuani. Honestly, I could let that through. It wouldn't be that bad actually. This card is whack. Can we talk about this? This card is crazy. Like this against the normal Plunder deck last season, if he didn't have Tusk Speaker, this game would have literally been won off the fact that he passed on turn 1. Like so nuts. I think at this point I actually do need to put a clock on him. We're not gonna win it without we don't have a hand for it. That's probably like the biggest decision here. But yeah, early pressure in general is going to be the biggest problem for this deck. I mean, we can flip the palace. I'd like to get this palace flipped before we summon a new palace, if anything. We're not really getting anything out of putting it down on the board right now. I'm pretty happy to just like get the free Poké Stick. He has Gnar in hand. It's okay. He's not plundering this turn if he has Gnar in hand, right? He needs like Make It Rain now. Make It Rain does kind of screw us. He will probably win the game if he has a Make It Rain here. Back to Troll Chant. Yeah, I mean, if he does the intelligent Troll Chant here, then he should win. Man, rip old Shapestone. So he does get the Poké Stick. We're still kind of fine on like cards in hands at this point. If he, I mean, I will say like the Plunder deck is actually built pretty differently from how it has been in the past. So like you actually probably don't need to exert as much pressure against them as you used to, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of the scary thing about like Gnar and Troll Chant. They're really good cards, but you're not actually like auto losing the game against that kind of builds if you're not like racing them down. So yeah, you could play slower. Like this kind of thing isn't as much of an auto lose condition as it used to be, which is nice. I mean, he's only discounting his Poké Stick. He's only getting a leveled Gnar here. This is fine. We don't need to worry about that. That's so stupid.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
This is so weird. Shaped pokey. I might have had to go for shaped pokey there. Yeah, I think like letting Gnar stick and flip is just too bad. I just have to hope he has literally nothing else. Interesting. All right, so Gnar flips here, becomes a 6/5. We can still threaten it in the same way. Parlay, interesting. I mean, we have the vulnerable and he's losing the vulnerable on ours if we don't have the unit anyway. And we're still threatening it with like Vagabond next turn. So I'm pretty sure I'm super happy with this. I guess I stop. No, he's already plunder triggered this turn too. So yeah, no, go for it. Oh, hey, Treasure Seeker. What's up? What's happening?
A little further.
Hi. This looks good.
We're not taking it. We're taking it back.
Why did they get Freljord Pokey? It's a really good question. Did Swim cut Udyr or just found a way to never draw him? Yeah, honestly, I actually haven't been drawing Udyr in these games at all. It's kind of wild. Does the animation play every time Gnar levels up? Oh god, is it every time? I actually don't remember. Just the first time? Yeah, it's just the first time.
Nothing like the stink of blood and sweat.
Grappling hook should actually be pretty important here. I don't know if I can use it in this hand though. It's such a good way of dealing with additional Gnars. The additional Gnar is going to be leveled. Wow. I mean, we have to go for a longer game. I don't know. None of these are great. I could also just skip it and try to go for like an actual bulky. I need a big unit here. Otherwise, these aren't really going to do a lot. Oh, hey, we got a bulky. Nice. Yeah, people are gonna build this new like Gangplank Sejuani decks are still gonna exist, but the question is like, how do you build them, right? Like this guy, for example, is running he's running Nars, he's running Cool Chance. Looks pretty similar to my version. It depends like how, like, you might not be able to fit Gnar into that deck at all. It's very possible. The deck does play, I think, a little bit fast for the speed Gnar wants to play at, I would say. His Gangplank's 4 out of 5. I guess so it just comes down to whether I want to use Pokey or use Shapestone. I think it kind of has to be Pokey here because I need to draw the card anyway, right? And like I don't think Pokey's really doing much else. I mean, yeah, he could see the Pokey. Man, Good thing I drew Nara this game instead of drawing Udyr. That would have been bad. I mean, honestly, my health is low enough. I don't mind just shapestoning that. What am I losing to? It's kind of dumb, but I think a 3-1 here is okay. I don't really need to bank the mana either. Yeah, basically we just keep board alive, apply pressure, and just like our reactive tools are basically quicksand and grappling hook, which both have somewhat of flaws as reactive tools. Like they're not going to catch literally everything, but the mid-range game plan of this is really solid. All right, if I want to leave myself open to, okay, like if he plays a gangplank or something right now, then I kind of need to leave myself open to using like shapestone grappling hook. So I think I actually open it with Wanderer. If he plays like a mid-sized unit like a Bjerg or something, I can still bruiser after this. This isn't, I will say, this isn't my normal kind of deck. Like I normally don't like play a lot of slow grindy mid-range, but it's actually a really cool build. Like we've never exactly seen this archetype before. I think 3 sisters in this deck might actually be really unnecessary though. I just want more like more early units, more rock hoppers, more icefield archers, because those are what we lose to. They're early things.
You own what you take.
All right. So there's the Sejuani. Unfortunately, she has too much health to actually grappling hook this turn. I mean, I can drop the bruiser here. That's okay. We can take quite a bit of damage. Yeah, I think I still have to drop the bruiser here, right? I can almost Fury of North with 3 sisters, but yeah, that's pretty bad. I think I just drop the bruiser here, like bulk out, make his attack as awkward as possible. He's not really dealing that much damage to me, right? Yeah, my health is still fine. She leveling? She is leveling off of the Crackshot Corsair. Wait, that's wild. Is it actually best to just... Oh, maybe I do just freeze her. Because he doesn't have more ways of leveling her, right?
Greed will turn any man into a monster.
I'm okay with this. So we'll keep our Nexus health a little bit higher because we get a free block on one of these.
Bristle, attack!
If he has like a warning shot or something to trigger the Sejuani, we will lose. It freezes your board? Yeah, but the Vagabond is at least like protecting our Nexus health a little bit. We can't do anything about the frozen board here. All right, so we're staying at 4, and I think this unit can afford to like lose 2 health to keep us at 2 health higher. Yep, we're chilling. 4 is kind of like the maximum we can be at right now.
The Winter's Claw endures.
This is such a hard deck to play though. Oh hey Udyr, what's up? All right, so make big Udyr. We can entomb the Sejuani, but if he has a way to trigger her effects here, we should just lose. We kind of need to not let him freeze us. How many slow speed develop ways of freezing our board does he have? Like I could literally use Shapestone plus Fury right now plus Grappling Hook. I'd tap out entirely. But if he has a slow speed way like Parlay or the new Tusk card of being able to ping the damage, I'd actually be able to kill her this turn. If she does that after I play Udyr, then I'm not killing her this turn no matter what. I think I'm actually okay if he does that, right? So it just comes down to whether we're using Bruiser or Udyr. And Udyr kind of has to be better because of the stance. Yeah, I guess it is just Udyr.
Our ancient enemies are returning.
Play that stands for tempo.
Fox, lead us to their heart.
Like, we can actually stay alive next turn, even if he pings our Nexus right now. We just entomb the Sejuani or something. Okay, that might be a problem.
Born of salt and pride.
All right, bit of an issue.
Neither the flames nor the depths can claim me.
All right. We might be no good here. So I can give Udyr Overwhelm, challenge the keg. He'll have 6. We push in a little bit of damage, putting him on a potential 2-turn clock, and we get a new stance. Then we grapple the Gangplank. I mean, he's not going to block us no matter what we do, right? Because he has to know that, like, playing around Fury is always going to be better for him here, right? I'll start with this. All right, so how does winning this game look like? I mean, I can kill one of them. I just can't kill both of them. I think I need to kill both of them here. All right, so we kill the Gangplank now because we can entomb the Sejuani next turn. So it has to be the Gangplank that's dying here. Yeah, there's no way around that. But the keg can't block otherwise, and I want to be able to threaten another one of them. So I think the Udyr wants to attack with mana open first. I think the Udyr just takes a naked attack. Yeah, because we need to kill him on a 2-turn clock is the best way to do it. If it's like warning shot. If it actually is warning shot, then we can be fine if we drag the keg here instead of taking a naked attack. Because we can actually survive against warning shot and then kill him next turn anyway. So now we grappling hook the Gangplank. Okay. The Gangplank goes down here, unless of course he uses like the warning shot if he wants. And we have to kill the Gangplank now because otherwise we're just dead next turn. Wow, it's Troll Chant. Ugh. No way, dude. Come on. Don't do that to me. That's so sad. Poor Shapestone, dude. All right. Okay, so we entomb the Sejuani. The Gangplank doesn't kill us on the open attack. We need to threaten him next turn. Suddenly we have like a 1-turn clock to kill this guy. I don't think we're good on a 1-turn clock. Although I could stabilize. I entomb the Sejuani. I stance the Gangplank. Wait, do I have to Shapestone right now, actually? Because that's the only way that I can kill the Gangplank with Ram Stance. Yeah. And then I even get the Warlord's Palace this turn. All right. Unfortunately, Ram Stance costs us like 1 Nexus health, but that's okay. You know, no problems with that. All right. What's going to save us here? So now we go for Grappling Hook because now we can outstarve the Sejuani, I think. Because the open attack, we are always entombing when the Sejuani opened attacks, right? And we just need a way of being able to kill her afterwards. And his 2 other units aren't actually doing anything, so I don't think we need the Troll Chant here. Okay, so now we ram the Gangplank. Okay, all right, seems good. All right, and now we're at 3 health. He's got the Crackshot Corsair, but we have just too much health. Hey, Akshan, what's up? We're gonna kill the Sejuani next round. This deck is so hard to play, dude. All right. So we've got a total of 10 mana. We can use Fury of the North plus Bruiser, or we can use Fury plus Grappling Hook. If he's thinking about a development here, I'm just gonna grapple the Sejuani before she attacks. That makes my job really easy. I don't think there's anything he, like, if he's thinking about this, that basically means it can't be a spell no matter what. So she freezes the Udyr. unless I entomb. So I'm gonna entomb her right now, no matter what. This is the easiest entomb of my life. There's no reason to ever go for freeze or anything else here. We need to kind of try to kill next turn, but I think we actually can, right? Like, aren't we just killing next turn? So we entomb. We block. All right, down to 2 health. So we survive against the warning shot hands too. All right, seems good. Nothing fancy to do here. And Udyr gets a strike off, which allows him to go into overwhelm. Udyr is currently 2 out of 7 towards leveling up, by the way. Don't worry about that. All right, the double warning shot hand. So now we have to try to kill him with an open attack if we can. We have a total of 9. Akshan's gonna be 3 more on top of that. Okay, we're not killing this guy with an open attack. Okay, new plan. God, what is our plan? Shit, this is terrible. All right. Okay, so we're gonna have to deal with this Sejuani again. We'll draw into an answer. We'll draw into an answer. That's okay.
We'll see which one of us is stronger.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. Butcher. All right. Well, he plundered. I mean, unfortunately, she's coming back at the start of next round, but nothing on my side is like vulnerable or anything, right? Aren't they just chilling? All right. So I'm always developing here, no matter what. You know, we're always applying a little bit of pressure because we're not forcing any blocks or anything. None of the stances I think really do anything at all, right? Yeah, I don't see anything these stances are doing. We need like high health to block Sejuani. Sure.
What did I say?
I mean, we control tank, guys. We're totally fine. Like, how do we lose this game unless he draws like double warning shot? All right, so we play around second Sejuani. If he has a second Sejuani off the top, he's debating whether to use it here or after combat, in case I buff one of my units, because he knows I have the stance swap in hand. That's what he's thinking about. So if he skips this action, I full attack, and then he's forced to play the second Sejuani, right? I mean, he's not dying to this, I guess. Ugh, that's annoying. Why doesn't he have to play around my lethal options? He's supposed to be dying to this. All right, unfortunately I can't really play around second Sejuani. The second Sejuani will also have 7 health, so we just stance swap the Vikoran Bruiser. But if she freezes this one, then I can't grappling hook my Udyr this turn, so we're screwed. Udyr will almost level up. Okay. Oh god. Oh, it's so painful. This is so weird. I need to force him to block. I can actually beat the second Sejuani hand. I need to force him to block. If he doesn't play it now, he should be screwed, right? If he doesn't play it now, he should be screwed. I think I actually just attack now. Am I crazy? We're not hitting lethals against basically anything here, actually. It's so weird. All right. And we're good, right? I think we're safe against pretty much anything.
Wonder how much this is worth.
Like, as long as I keep the stance swap in hand, it locks him out of being able to do anything else. We've got the 5/5, which we can give protection to. Even if he uses Fury, we're still safe, right? Regeneration? No. We have to beef up the Vikoran Bruiser here. We just need like a single high health unit. He's not going to give anything vulnerable unless he's running like a single hired gun or something. So we beef up the Vikoran Bruiser. Sejuani comes in with 6 attacks. She'll have potentially 9, but we even survived the 9 attacks Sejuani even without. We can do +2. All right, let's see if Vikoran Bruiser actually gets the +2. That actually might change our proper play. The discipline this guy has is ridiculous. Wait a second. All right, well, I mean, I guess we have to stance now. Like, I don't think there's any way around that. I don't have to do anything weird here.
Ironborn.
All right, well, Udyr can level up before this game ends. All right, no second Sejuani. So first Sejuani comes back. It's probably just like Dreadway or something. So stupid. What a dumb game. Dreadway would be a win for him. It would basically have to. I mean, we still have the grappling hook. We have the troll chant, which means we don't even have to have our hook forced. He's actually just looking for the second warning shot. All right, good luck, buddy. I wish you all the luck in the world. We play around parlay by open attacking, I think. If he has like a way to freeze, I think that's okay, because we can win the game with Spirits Unleashed or Shape Stun if he has, like, I mean, he can only freeze once, right? Yeah, I don't think there's anything that beats that's still not enough. Man, why does Spirits Unleashed actually hurt my own Nexus? That's so sad. All right, so I can still get a new stance. Like, we still don't have to die, and we can, oh, but this one's focus speed, so I can't actually use it during combat. There's no way to use that before either. Oh man. Oh, that's so weird. Wait, what am I getting off of this? Zero cost of strongest ally. Udyr spell. Udyr spell doesn't do anything, guys. I think it's just draw 2. I'm not really trying to end the game with this pressure though, right? Udyr level. Guys, I can't play Udyr spell on the stack here. What do you mean? Am I missing something? Like, leveling Udyr doesn't do anything. Udyr spell literally kills my Nexus, guys. I think the only thing I can do there is just push 2 damage. Dude, what is this game? Yeah, it's just Shapestone any unit. I wanted to do it on Udyr just in case, like, we get something that can enable grappling hook. So now I've got Sentinel's Horde. If I grant my Udyr +2/+2, I will be able to kill the Sejuani with grappling hook this turn, which is, I think, the only thing that can possibly matter, right? I think there's nothing else that could matter. And I have more than enough possible health. Overwhelm could close this out a turn earlier, technically, which is really, really funny. So we go for the Overwhelm spell here.
Oh God, hear me!
Killing Sejuani loses to second Sejuani. Oh, that's actually hilariously true. Second Sejuani is actually so possible right now. It's so possible he's sitting on second Sejuani. Because if I let him give something else vulnerable and then he just challenges and kills it, I lose. Maybe I do just go for the draw too. What's the strongest ally off of Absolver's Resurrection here? I can't even remember. What is the strongest ally off of Absolver's Resurrection here? This game has gone on way too long. Bruiser? Yeah, did I lose one Bruiser before? I don't think I did. I think this is the only Bruiser I played.
The storm comes.
I guess I just draw 2? Draw 2 is just the safest thing to do, right? Yeah, there's nothing else I can do. All right. So I have the ability to kill the Sejuani here. But again, if I kill her, I think I just lose the second Sejuani for no reason. I think there's literally no reason to kill her. Because if he plays like a Gangplank or something, I can just kill that. Like... yeah, I think there's literally no upside to it. 2 grappling? Yeah, but I can't kill the first Sejuani without committing both of them, guys. Like... yeah, no, we just have to pass again. We actually just have to pass. Please. All right, there's the Gangplank. And again, we have to not let that attack trigger hit. The powder keg doesn't actually do anything here. So with the one we give the health to is just gonna be the bruiser, I guess. Not that it matters. And we just grappling hook. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't matter which one we give health to, right? This one's a little bit safer. It matters for like second Sejuani Fury of the North. Second Sejuani Fury of the North is actually kind of funny for like his own other troll chant. Yeah, this one does matter. This one does actually matter. So we kill the Gangplank. I think we're dead to troll chant anyway though, right? Minus 2 to Sejuani. Yeah, that's so sad. Oh my fucking god.
Bristle, attack!
Barrel!
Yeah. This is so sad, dude. The top decks on this guy. Yeah, that was a really, really unfortunate top deck for us. Like GG, dude. That's so sad. There's a couple things. I mean, you can use the troll chance on the Sejuani at the end there. That can play around second Sejuani. If we had the overwhelm earlier than the 2/2 buff, we might have won this. We might have been able to close the game out 1 turn early. Yeah, give overwhelm and try to pull the barrel. Yeah. No, that one could have been worth it. I think for sure. Dude, this deck feels so good. Yumi Poppy. All right, no goddamn clue what that is. Literally no idea. All right. I mean, with this hand, we just like want early proactive plays. This is a solid curve. Not running out of steam, not like dying to too much aggression. I could see an argument to actually kick Nara out of the opening hand. It's still very possible it's 3 Udyr 0 Nar, by the way. Like, Udyr is really solid for what this deck is trying to do.
Gently. Steady now.
Oh. All right, seems good.
Our eyes lead to hidden paths.
Why is Udyr better than Nar in the stack? Mostly because of the timing and speed of the card. Like, Udyr is going to provide value every single turn you keep him alive. Like, this entire deck is just about keeping alive and like making sure you don't run out of like board value, right? And Nar is a little too tempo oriented and a little too hard to enable. Even like having to deal 1 Nexus damage is kind of tricky for this deck in particular. All right, so this is a very, very easy Vagabond turn, I think. Like, he still doesn't have an attack here. That deck doesn't really run 1-mana combat tricks. And we want to get the Palace down as early as possible. 3 Vagabond is super crucial in this deck. Sure thing, dude. Okay. Alright, first time playing against Gleaming Lantern. Let's see how this goes. So we can tap under for Nar here. I'm actually pretty okay with that. Like, I do like developing it early and making sure we're starting to get value. I want to play Bruiser on turn 5 and have like spell mana to keep him alive as a threat though, maybe. God, maybe it is 3 Udyr, 0 Gnar. I think I'm fine with Gnar plus like Ice Veil Archer next turn.
We're off on a new adventure.
That's pretty big. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think we just have to go for board stall game plan. But yeah, I mean, Gnar actually is feeling kind of awkward here again. There's just a lot of situations where, like, because this deck has mostly health-based combat tricks instead of attack-based combat tricks, even with Shapestone, I guess like Shapestone should be enough to allow Gnar to attack on lot on turn 4. It's just like in this particular curve, we can't even bluff it, even if we wanted to try to bluff it in gold, which, you know, might be kind of sus. We might be getting kind of ran over by these cards though. What's up with that? Outbeefed by Yumi. Dude. Everyone has so many buffs in this expansion. Yeah, this is kind of like everyone's buffing the expansion. Like half the new cards are just like I buff thing. Especially the champions. All right. I mean, I can make his attack like single-handedly really awkward with just a Waking Sands. Or I can make it basically non-existent with an Ice Veil Archer. I don't think Waking Sands is even doing anything else. God, this is terrifying. Where did he get all these big units from? I mean, it's mostly just the one. Yeah, I think I just Waking Sands now. I can still Ice Veil Archer the Yumi like 3 turns from now. Don't Notify this or anything. Yeah, thanks. Fae is not bad. I don't think Fae is bad. I think it's like, if you're gonna run all the Fae Swarm cards, it's a worse version than other Bandle decks. Fae was never like bad. Like Fae was always gonna, like, I can guarantee you Fae decks are gonna have like a pretty high win rate for the first several days of the patch, and like that was always gonna happen for sure. Yeah, I mean, he's solo attacking with this elusive, right? Rainbow Fish kind of spooky. This one, I guess, is just a super simple block of these. But yeah, I think, like, I mean, any sort of deck that's playing for the aggro game plan is probably our worst nightmare here. And like, that deck has big beef as well as aggro. We're gonna have to deal with this like one huge Gleaming Lantern. All right, what's the game plan here? I mean, we're not really getting our Vagabond accelerated. I think we just need a really big Bruiser and start trading down and keeping the board. Why is that a 4-1? What's going on here? That's interesting. Very interesting. All right, well, Ruthless Predator does give us a way to try to threaten the big unit if we wanted to. I don't think the big one matters. We mostly just want to like trade and keep our units alive. We can Predator as a bluff spot to allow the Gnar to attack as well, which is nice. So Bruiser challenges something, or Gnar could actually challenge the Elusive is probably better. Elusive is more of a nightmare than anything else. And this is kind of like where Demasia's role as like the quintessential mid-range deck is kind of fundamentally important. Like, this is a mid-range deck. It's very rare to see in Runeterra like a mid-range deck that doesn't use Demacia. And as it turns out, Sharpsight's identity as a card allowing you to block elusives while also being a good combat trick is kind of really important in any deck that's just trying to play for board beef, because elusives are going to be a threat for us.
I just want to strum my
like
bet
big
the
threat.
transformation archetype becomes a big thing with Noxus when Clud is eventually added.
All right, so we can buff the Bruiser's attack and make it basically unblockable while Gnar swings in on the elusive. Looks pretty good to me. I'm not really as afraid of the Poppy as I am of the elusive. I'm kind of okay if the Poppy's buffing the entire board, honestly. I think I win the board stat value. I'm just like really scared of the elusive. Like our health is way too low. Like we're dying for this thing. So basically this, I guess this is the only attack we have. Poppy's only buffing the 1-2? Yeah, exactly. Alright, this is like pretty good value for Gnar. It's not amazing, but just like being a decent unit that gets value per strike, we're getting more Poké Sticks. I just don't know if this deck needs more of that concept. We might not need more value per strike because we already have so much of that. We can't get elusive off of this, which is really sad. This has elusive. Interesting. Very interesting. So we seem to be kind of just dying. Huh. Okay. Sure. Why not? I mean, I have the ability to ice fail the lantern. The hilarious thing is it'll still hit me for one of Poppy attacks. I think stopping one attack here is basically the most I can do. It's not lethal, but he could have like Twin or Poké Stick or something that makes it lethal. We just like, we don't have an answer to it next turn, and we're not even going to have an answer to it next turn. Quicksand would save us here. Yeah, Quicksand has to be a 3 of. I was right. It's a 3 of. It's too important to the identity of this deck. Way, way, way too important. It's a hardcore 3 of. All right, so yeah, Poppy looks like she's buffing the entire board all of a sudden. How did that happen? So if he just doesn't attack right now without doing anything else, Poppy will buff herself to a 5/6. We want to be able to at least threaten that. We can block it with Poké Stick right now, but we want to be able to keep our unit alive as well, ideally. There's not really a way of doing that without committing both spells on something. The rest of the board is becoming a 5/5. We want to be able to kill that with a single Elixir of Iron. I think we actually regen. We give +2/+2 to our Gnar and then like Elixir of Iron it. Looks good.
Feel me about to be the Zoe of this expansion.
Yeah, no, could be. Could actually be. The fact that you can't get rid of her is actually so annoying. Interesting. Fascinating. Okay. All right. So stupid. All right, so that's a 5/6. We're blocking this one. We don't have any way of killing the Grandfather Fae unless we're sacrificing the other one. Let's do like this. We've got a good block down. I think, you know, we can use the other Poké Stick on the Poppy, so Snar's getting another one, right? So we use the Elixir of Iron on the Gnar to allow it to kill the Grandfather Fae. That gives us the Relic of Power in hands. And then during the combat, we Poké Stick the face, because that's going to be necessary to level the Gnar, because we have to do damage with the Gnar this turn. And because we use it during combat, we get a new Poké Stick from Gnar, while setting the Poppy down to 1 health. Now just pretend that Yumi's not going to give her +1/+1. the Gnar will level, and I think it should go on the lantern because the frostbite ends before the vulnerable. Oh, actually, I don't know which one it goes on, I'll be honest. We've also got Relic of Power, which isn't really doing anything unique here. It's just like predict draw one. All right, so we do the predict and draw one. These all blow. No bueno. Merciless is nice. I like Merciless here. Okay, get a free lucky find. Hey, quick attack on our Gnar. That's sick. Wow, these are all completely useless. This one's not bad. I mean, he does have quick attack, and we're dealing with some big units here. All right, now Gnar is leveled. We can threaten the Poppy now. Oh, hello, grappling hook. Nice of you to drop by. All right, so we can even play the auction, right? Like, yeah, we can definitely we can milk a little bit more value out of this, right? There's nothing that's really going to punish us from not open attacking. So we play the auction. We get the new horde.
We'll see which one of
You know,
us is
just in
stronger,
case, right?
Sean.
Just in case we wanted it. We make this vulnerable with Merciless Hunter.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
This is so stupid. All right, seems good. Now we do a little dragging. We do a little dragging. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, he's never blocking this one, right? Yeah, he's never blocking this one, right? Yeah, no shot. All right, and yeah, we're super happy, right? I don't think we need anything else. Elusive goes down. He's kind of getting the elusive back into his hand, though. Can we talk about that? What's up with that? Why is he getting this elusive back into his hand? Okay, so the funny thing is, if I end this combat right now, he has next action, and he's getting the elusive fish back, which means at speed, at unit speed, he can immediately fish up the Gleaming Lantern. It would replace the Quick Quell. I think that means it wouldn't get +1, right? Because the Quick Quell pops out too. I do need to do it basically on the stack though. There's no other choice. God, if we're losing to elusive, Whimsy? Wait, is that main deck Whimsy? The squirrel does say the word Fey on it. I think this guy control left every card that said the word Fey on it. All right, he's got the Yuumi. 0 out of 3 levels.
I'm ready to play.
And I think the rainbow fish just ain't scary enough. All right, GG. All right, that one of Gnar came in hot though, eh? That one on Gnar came in real hot. Unattached Yuumi? Yeah, guys, he has too many attachers. He has to play unattached Yuumi here. So, I mean, the funny thing is, if I grappling hook this Yuumi, then he will simply get the fish back and he'll play the fish on the other one. But I get the pokey stick from the Gnar strike. I got the Warlord's Cord trigger progress. And when he plays the other fish, he loses the quick call, and I'll just grappling hook that one too. All right, so he tapped under fish. I mean, I guess I could grappling hook again. Is there really too much of a point in doing that though? I don't think so. I think we're actually just AFK. Go for it, dude.